So we had another really good day today, way outperforming the market. The market went up 2% today on the Dow and 0.78 on the NASDAQ. And of course, we went up a little over 8% during the regular session, and another 0.5% during after hours. And I think that's still going on a little bit. So I'm going to walk through some of the big winners and losers. There aren't really any losers, at least not on our list. And we will talk about some trends. So let's take a look at top movers. Oops, let's go back here. All right, so Genius Brands, that went up 85% today. And to be fair, what do they do? I know I've heard that before. Children's entertainment properties from media. All right, so that went up today. Not really sure why. Maybe it's the end of the school year and there's a lot more eyeballs on the TV. Couldn't really tell you. But we have Diversified Healthcare Trust went up 36%. Newmark Group, Digital Turbine, Signet. Hey, one of ours is top 5. Latin American Airlines, which we're going to talk about a little bit. And then we go down to the negative movers. Let's see, Sun Petroleum, Biotech, 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 and Biotech. So not really sure why all those went down. We'll talk about the ones in the portfolio next. All right, so at CAGI, this is the International Airlines Group. They basically are a consortium of European airlines. So you think of British Airways, Aer Lingus, things like that. They went up 13.3%. This is one of the big. Them and Lufthansa are really the two biggest airline companies in Europe. So with everything starting to open up and the curve dropping like a fly, you're going to see this stock go up really nicely. So this went from being a negative return for us not too long ago to being a 50% gainer. So if we look over the last month, they've gained 40%. Over the last week, 16%, and most of that was from today at 13%. All right, Azul, this is the South American rival. This is the biggest, one of the biggest South American airlines based out of Brazil. This went up another 13.5%. Again, they do a lot of freight as well, about transporting medical supplies. You do got to remember it's South America, so you're flying across a lot of mountains and jungle. So, but overall, they're going up. Plus, they got pledged. What is it? They said access to. I forget how the term they use, but basically access to lines of credit or money from the Brazilian government to carry them through, so they don't have to file for bankruptcy. As we learned from Latin American Airlines, they didn't want to go bankrupt in Brazil because they said most people don't come out of it intact. And I don't think they have the same bankruptcy laws as we do. So it's not like you can choose Chapter 7 or Chapter 11 and choose your destiny. So, but overall, that's doing pretty good. Over the last month, they're up 33%. Over the last week, same thing. So pretty much all the gains are from the last week. And then today was 13%. Service Properties Trust, again, this is another stock that's going to reflect the increased demand. So they basically deal with natural gas and oil and all that kind of stuff. Oh, wait, no, I take it back. That's Sasol. Service Properties is basically they do hospitality and other things for the West Texas oil patches. So hospitality and travel services. So they fly people in, do busing, residential residences for the people that work in West Texas. So as demand goes up and oil goes up, and we talked yesterday how some of the biggest movers lately were in logistics for oil, so moving stuff in tankers and trucks and ships and pipeline and things like that. That reflects a downstream increased demand, and so this one is going to go up as well because people realize they are going to be back in business. So that went up 13% today. For the month, 33%, and for the day, 12%. All right, United Airlines, up 12%. I think that's just people flying more. I actually got my hair cut today, and it was right by the airport, and I noticed there were, I wouldn't say there was a ton of planes, because on a normal day they're flying like crazy here in San Diego, but there were more than there were before. So I think the demand is going to go higher, not quickly. It's not going to be like this, but it'll be more like the typical plane, like that. So that's pretty good, but I'm staying out of this airline sector for now. So just showing you for that. All right, TVG Real Estate Financial Trust. Again, these are people that basically do REITs. They combine a whole bunch of mortgages, they borrow money, and then at a certain rate, and the mortgages that they get back, they get paid more than that, and then they pay the stockholders a dividend based on that. So overall, as we start to see things get back to normal little by little, you'll see them go up. Last month they've gone up 24%. Last week is 16, and today is 12. All right, Sasol, it's one we talked about earlier. That's an underwater natural gas company, underground natural gas company, and this reflects increased demand. They're up 76% month to date, or the last month, 51% for the week, and a nice even 10% today. So if we look at them for the last 3 months, we have this massive drop, and we start to see them climbing back. We don't own this one, but we have one similar to that, so that's good. All right, Braemar Resorts, that's my star one. That's the one I really wish I invested more money. I invested all of $700 in it, which I'm ruining the day right now, but got in at 125. It's sitting here at 430. All right, for the month, it's up 56%. For the week, it's up 30, and for the day, it's up 22. So most of it's from today, and we are pumping 245%. So we're on our way to quadrupling our return, and I really wish there was a 3 behind in front of this 7. But again, this is a travel company, and it reflects increased demand, people getting out and traveling and going on vacation over the summer. All right, Signet Jewelers, same thing, increased demand. People haven't been buying engagement rings for a while. So it's up 70% for the month, 20 for the week roughly, and 26 for the day. So went up and down this week, as you can see here. But we're over the 100% for them, which is looking really good. So the trend is increased demand across the board. All right, the next one's Velocity Financial. They do mortgage refinances. And so as we start to see people go back to work, and for banks and financial institutions, there's a little bit more clarity and less scariness going on. We start to see the demand go up. So this is where everything was really scary, and it was way down at 255. As we start to see more clarity and more optimism, you see this demand curve go up. So for the last month, they're at 50%. For the last week, they are at 35, and today they went up a whopping 26%. So that's a great sign long term that the finance side of the economy is starting to be more optimistic. All right, Save is Spirit Airlines. This is the cheap airline, so if somebody flies and they're really pinching pennies, they're going to go on them. I personally hate them, and I'm never flying them again. I flew them once or twice, but never again. So this right here is our Canyon. It's the absolute bottom of the market we see right there. Got down to about $8, and they've doubled that in basically 3 weeks. So as you start to see people more willing to travel and having more confidence about the economy, you start to see that demand curves go up. So the last month, it's gone up 44%, 27 for the week, and most of that 20% today. All right, Latin American Airlines, this is the one that filed for bankruptcy. At some point, it's going to be delisted. That's where you see the bankruptcy filing right there. But it's gone up, and I'm not sure if this is related to short selling, but if it were, you wouldn't think it would go up that much. So I'm going to observe this a little bit. Again, if we look at the February 20th day, which is the day most people's stocks went down, it's at 863. I would say that if this gets up to 250, I might consider buying it, but my understanding is this is going to get delisted, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. So we'll pay attention. I'm going to look a little bit more, but that's my understanding that that's going to happen unless they withdrew with their bankruptcy filing because they're finally getting help from, I believe it's the Brazilian government. So, but one of the governments down in South America. All right, Dave & Buster's. This is the bellwether, because if Dave & Buster's goes up, you're talking about a place with tons of people, central air conditioning, central ventilation, and everybody's touching things over and over again. If this optimism is on this one, that's a really great sign for the economy and for demand increasing. So this cratered, went up. They thought it was a V-shaped recovery, and then we have right here is kind of when all the shutdowns hit, and they went down here. So hope. Oh my gosh, here's the little canyon, although it's a little inverted for them. But for the last month, got down to 895, and you can see the demand curve go up, and it's basically almost doubled. So they've gone 44% for the month, 5% for the week, and 20% for the day. 20% for the day. So we had this earlier, but I'm okay with the hands off it. If this goes up and continues to climb, we may not be a part of it, but it's a great sign for the economy. So we'll take it at that point. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at our chart. So we updated everything. UCO's up to 26.45. UCO's actually up to almost 27 earlier. So that's good. We're about $2 away from breaking even on it after that catastrophe, after that reverse split back in the day. And anything after that this is our largest holding. So any increase on that is just going to be wonderful for us. And it's going to offset Braemar Resorts, which I'm still kind of kicking myself. I can't believe I only bought $700 of that. All right. So that being said, the three usual suspects are on top. We've talked about them enough. Azul's up there. But again, the over-under, based on the difference between their cost basis and their price right now, is about 32% over. GNC, which is my flyer, I don't care about them. 2 Financial is at 33. But if we look at down here, as we go down, the lowest one is Menlo with 100%, and this is about 2.5. Now, again, these upsides that we see here used to be all 4s and 5s, and now they're at 2s. So that's, again, the sign that we are on an upward trend recovering, getting back to where we were before with the stock market. And being that there's like $6 trillion more dollars being pumped in the stock market, the valuations could go even higher. It's totally expected for that to happen. So, which is good news for us. So I flagged this one yellow just to take a look at it. 2 Financial as well, mainly because they both are total green lighters. And between the 3 green bars right here, this had the best 2, 178. And they're low, 29% and 33. So I'll take a look this afternoon, this evening, see if we want to put in another order in that. But beyond that, trails off for the most part. I'm going to take a look at some of these individually that maybe we haven't looked at in a while and see kind of where we stand. But I'm hoping to take a look at I want to take a look at ones that have drops in it and see if we can take advantage of a drop. So GNC went 12. That's my flyer. I don't care. But all the other ones, 4% on AMC. Flexion's basically break even, and Inova is 345. Yeah, there's nothing today, but we'll take a look. I'll see if there's anything else out there. So with that being said, we still have our limit orders for Soho, which something about it I just really like about it, but it's at 291 right now. The buy price is 240, so we'll see what happens there. And then Therapeutics MD, actually did buy this yesterday, so this one actually filled. There we go. All right, there we go. And so we have 2,600 shares right there, and it's just still break even, so which is fine by us. And American is at 1184. It needs to get up to 1550 for me to sell it. So who knows when that's going to happen. So that being said, take a look at their leaderboard. Our leader on the board is Braemar Resorts. I still don't like that this is 700, but we're up 250%, meaning we've between tripled and quadrupled our investment. Crestwood Equity, again, one of the lower ones. Every time I see this, it drives me nuts. Is almost at 200, which is great. That means it's being tripled. PVAC, at least I have 2,000 in it, is close to being tripled. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then we have ERI, Eldorado Resorts. Again, casinos open tomorrow, I believe, in Vegas. So that one's over 100%. Service, which is the West Texas Hospitality and Transportation Company, It's close to 100. Oh, Redwood Trust is over 100, and Signet Jewelers is over 100. So we're starting to see the 100 club shape out pretty well. And then Velocity Financial is making a move up there as well. But the one that I'm really looking forward to is Yuko. I can't wait for that to get into black territory there. So with that being said, we started the day at 65,123.51. We gained 4,200. We have a 55% gain on active portfolio, and overall 97% on all the stocks we've ever owned. And based on the deposits we've made, 28,788. We have a current total of 69,000 minus the margin. So we have a gain of 98%. So anybody that sits here and watches this, I've had people that have said good and bad things about these videos. Fair enough, but look at the numbers yourself, and you know what? The numbers speak for themselves. Again, I am not a registered investment advisor. I'm not telling you what to invest in, but I am showing you what I do every single day and why it works. So with that being said, we'll take a look at the Dow futures for tomorrow. I saw this earlier, and this I think still reflects today's date. Oops. Let's see if it reset. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's up to 559, but then I go to CNN aftermarkets and it's at 32, which I tend to think is about right for this early in the aftermarket. So we'll take a look later today. Last night I looked at it and it went up a couple hundred points, so I knew we were going to have a big day today. As far as what's moving pre-market, Boeing. Yeah, is there anything we own here? Nope. But just kind of what we talked about, the overall trend that we had talked about, and I didn't even look at this earlier. But trains, planes, and trucks are rebounding. It's a good sign for the economy, basically saying that anything we're looking at as far as oil and things moving, planes moving, trucks moving, anything that's moving the economy, it means there's increased demand and increased activity and increased optimism. So if people are going on vacation, they're taking flights, oil's moving across pipelines, oil derricks are moving, people are pumping oil, any number of things. Trucks are moving, within a city, city to city, any number of things. That is a great sign. So overall, we hit our shark tooth on the way down. We hit our flat area where it was a lifeless corpse, and now we're moving up. And even with all the unrest and all the craziness that's going on, and we always forget about the coronavirus even, which is kind of crazy, it's just moving up no matter what. So get in this market. There's a ton of room for making money right now, but this is the greatest money making time probably you'll ever have in your whole life. So don't sit on the sidelines, buy something. If you go in the video description, there's a link to this spreadsheet that I have that has all my stocks, has all the numbers. You can cheat, use it, copy it, do whatever you want to do. But it's there for your perusal. Also, if you don't have a Robinhood account, that's the platform that I use. There's a link inside there. And if you do sign up for it, you'll get a free stock. I don't know which one you'll get, but I get a free stock too. I had a Groupon stock, but it's up to you kind of what you want to do. But so far today, we're getting close to being up $5,000 for the day. And overall, we are moving. Oh, we forgot to look at a couple things. Overall, we're close to 70,000. Our next benchmark is 75,000. Maybe we hit that tomorrow. That would be great. But even if we do it by the end of the week, that's still awesome. And then projections, we are still slated to hit about 260,000 in overall value. So I am only wishing Braemar Resorts. I did this earlier, just so you know how dumb I am. Like if I decided I was going to buy Braemar Resorts and there were 3,200 in it, I would have had a gain instead of 1,700. I would have had a gain of 8,000. Just driving me absolutely nuts. So anyway, that being said, great reason to be optimistic. It's time to make some money, but don't sit on the sideline. All right, talk to you tomorrow. To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want,
live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.